First contact and betrayal. The day Earth made first contact with an alien civilization dawned like any other. Dr. Ilara Chen, lead xenolinguist at the United Earth Space Agency, UESA, had just settled into her morning routine at the Arecibo Observatory when the impossible happened. A signal, unlike anything ever recorded, pulsed through her headphones. Ilara's heart raced as she called out to her colleague, Dr. James Okonkwo. "James, get over here now." Within hours, the news spread globally. Humanity was not alone in the universe. The signal originated from a species calling themselves the Zarkai, representatives of a vast interstellar alliance. They came in peace, they said, seeking friendship and cultural exchange. In the months that followed, Earth transformed. The Zarkai, sleek humanoids with iridescent skin and eyes that seemed to hold the depths of space, became a common sight in major cities. They shared glimpses of their advanced technology, curing diseases that had plagued humanity for centuries and introducing clean energy sources that promised to reverse climate change. Commander Alexei Volkov of the newly formed Terran Space Force watched the proceedings with a mixture of wonder and wariness. "It all seems too good to be true," he confided to his second-in-command, Lieutenant Zora Okoro, as they observed a Zarkai delegation meeting with world leaders. Zara nodded, her dark eyes scanning the aliens. "I can't shake this feeling that we're missing something crucial." Their instincts proved right on the night of the Geneva Accords, a historic treaty meant to formally induct Earth into the Zarkai alliance. As the world's leaders gathered to sign the document, chaos erupted. Alexei was mid-conversation with the Chinese premier when he saw it, a shimmer in the air behind the UN Secretary-General. Years of combat training kicked in. "Get down," he roared, lunging forward. A plasma bolt sizzled past, missing the Secretary-General by inches. Alexei tackled the alien assassin, grappling with a creature far stronger than any human. Around him, more attackers materialized, their adaptive camouflage failing as they engaged their targets. Zara's voice crackled over his comm. "Commander, we've got multiple hostiles. They're after all the major leaders." Alexei grunted, barely avoiding a swipe from the assassin's energy blade. "Protect the civilians, and someone get me a damn weapon." The next few minutes were a blur of violence and screams. Alexei managed to disarm his opponent, using the alien's own blade to incapacitate it. As he looked up, panting, he saw Zara leading a group of security personnel, efficiently neutralizing the remaining threats. In the aftermath, as medics tended to the wounded and security teams secured the area, a grim reality set in. The assassination attempt had been thwarted, but the trust between humanity and the Zarkai lay in tatters. "This was no rogue operation," Zara said, examining one of the captured weapons. "This tech is top-tier Zarkai military grade." Alexei nodded, his face a mask of determination. "Get me a secure line to UESA headquarters. We need to go to full alert." Across the globe, humans watched in shock as news of the betrayal spread. The Zarkai ambassadors, claiming ignorance, retreated to their ships in orbit, but the damage was done. In Washington, D.C., President Elena Martinez stood before a hastily assembled press conference, her voice steady despite the chaos of the past few hours. "My fellow citizens of Earth, today we faced a grave threat from those we had welcomed as friends. But let this be known. Humanity will not bow. We will not be subjugated. To the Zarkai and any other alien race watching, hear this: Earth is off limits. Any further aggression will be met with the full force of our united strength." As Martinez spoke, Alexei and Zara were already in motion. In secure facilities around the world, projects that had been theoretical were now given top priority. The Terran Space Force, once seen as a diplomatic gesture, was about to become humanity's shield and sword. Dr. Chen, whose work had first opened communication with the Zarkai, now found herself leading a team to decrypt alien transmissions. "They've been planning this for months," she reported, her voice hollow with disbelief. The cultural exchange, the technology sharing. It was all to assess our weaknesses. James Okonkwo, now heading UESA's Advanced Propulsion Division, burst into the room. "You need to see this," he said, pulling up a holographic display. "We've detected massive energy signatures in the outer solar system. It's a fleet, and it's big." Alexei studied the display, his mind racing through scenarios. How long until they reach Earth? At their current speed, 2 weeks, maybe less, James replied. Zara stepped forward, her expression fierce. "Then we have 2 weeks to prepare our defenses. They think they know our capabilities, but they have no idea what humans can do when our backs are against the wall." Alexei nodded, a grim smile forming on his face. "Absolutely right, Lieutenant. Dr. Chen, I need every scrap of intel you can get from those transmissions. Dr. Okonkwo, push your teams to the limit. We need every technological advantage we can get. Zara, you're with me. We're going to turn the Terran Space Force into a fighting unit that will make these aliens regret ever hearing of Earth." As the team dispersed, each focused on their crucial tasks, Alexei took a moment to look out the window at the night sky. The stars, once a source of wonder and possibility, now held a threat. But in the reflection, he saw the determination on his own face, mirrored in the faces of those around him. Humanity had been challenged, but they would rise to meet it. The Zarkai and their allies thought they had measured the full extent of human capability. They were about to learn how wrong they were. In labs, factories, and military bases around the world, a flurry of activity began. The Terran directive was clear: Earth would stand strong. As the alert went out and citizens began to mobilize, a new sense of unity swept the planet. Old rivalries were set aside in the face of a common threat. The next 2 weeks would determine the fate of humanity. But one thing was certain: Earth would not go quietly into the night. The Zarkai had made a grave miscalculation. They had awakened the sleeping giant, and the galaxy was about to learn why Earth was a force to be reckoned with. The Terran Directive. The next 2 weeks passed in a blur of frenetic activity. Across the globe, humanity united with a singular purpose: to defend Earth at all costs. The Terran Directive, as it came to be known, was more than just a warning to alien aggressors. It became a rallying cry, a promise that humanity would stand strong in the face of cosmic threats. Commander Alexei Volkov stood on the bridge of the TSS Defiant, Earth's first true warship. What had once been an international space station had been hastily retrofitted with weapons systems reverse-engineered from captured Zarkai technology. It wasn't pretty, but it was functional. "Status report," Alexei barked, his eyes fixed on the holographic display showing the approaching Zarkai fleet. Lieutenant Zara Okoro's fingers danced across her console. "All systems operational, sir. The orbital defense grid is online, and ground-based ion cannons are charged and ready." Alexei nodded, a grim smile on his face. Let's hope Dr. Okonkwo's surprises work as well in practice as they did in simulations. Down on Earth, in a hardened bunker beneath the Rocky Mountains, Dr. James Okonkwo and his team worked tirelessly. The fruits of their labor surrounded them: prototypes of advanced shield generators, antimatter warheads, and the crown jewel of their achievements, the quantum entanglement communicator. "Final diagnostics complete," James announced, his voice hoarse from days of non-stop work. "The QEC is online. We now have instantaneous communication across the entire solar system." President Elena Martinez, who had insisted on being present for this moment, stepped forward. "Excellent work, Doctor. This may well be the advantage that saves us all." Across the room, Dr. Ilara Chen frowned at her own displays. "Madam President, Commander Volkov, you need to see this," she called out. The gathered leaders crowded around her station. On the screen, a new set of transmissions from the Zarkai fleet scrolled past, automatically translated by Ilara's algorithms. "They're not just coming to subjugate us," Ilara explained, her voice tight. They see Earth as a threat to their galactic dominance. The assassination attempt, the fleet, it's all part of a larger plan to eliminate any potential rivals before we can reach the stars. President Martinez's expression hardened. Then we'll just have to show them why we're a threat. Commander Volkov, you have full authorization to engage the enemy. Humanity is counting on you. Back on the Defiant, Alexei received the transmission. He turned to his crew, his voice steady and determined. You've all heard the Terran directive. Earth is off limits. Today, we make good on that promise. To your stations, we're about to give the Zarkai a welcome they'll never forget. As the alien fleet entered the solar system, they encountered their first surprise. The quantum entanglement communicator allowed Earth's forces to coordinate with perfect synchronization. Missiles launched from Mars and the moons of Jupiter struck the Zarkai ships before they even realized they were under attack. First blood to us, Zara reported, a fierce grin on her face. Their forward ships are breaking formation. Alexei nodded. Good, spring the trap. Hidden among the asteroids of the belt, autonomous drone ships of human design surged to life. They swarmed the disoriented Zarkai vessels, their weapons guided by advanced AI that adapted to alien defensive patterns in real time. On Earth, in cities around the world, citizens watched the battle unfold on giant screens. Cheers erupted as the first Zarkai capital ship erupted in a ball of plasma fire. But the aliens were far from defeated. Their technology was still superior in many ways, and they outnumbered Earth's forces significantly. As the battle neared Mars, the tide began to turn. We've lost contact with the Phobos defense station, Zara reported, her earlier elation replaced by grim focus. The Zarkai are pushing through our outer defenses. Alexei gripped the arms of his command chair. Activate the Lazarus Protocol. Across the solar system, hidden installations hummed to life. Quantum-locked satellites, invisible to traditional sensors, decloaked and unleashed a barrage of antimatter torpedoes. The space around Mars lit up like a new sun as dozens of Zarkai ships disintegrated. In the command bunker, James whooped with joy. It worked. The antimatter containment held. But their celebration was short-lived. A massive energy surge emanated from the heart of the Zarkai fleet. A beam of pure destruction lanced out, carving a molten gash across the face of Mars. "Dear God," President Martinez whispered, "they're willing to destroy entire planets to get to us." Ilara, who had been quiet for some time, suddenly straightened. "Wait, I'm picking up new transmissions, not from the Zarkai." Her eyes widened. "It's from deeper in space. Other alien races are watching the battle. They're impressed by our resistance." Alexei's voice crackled over the QEC. "We can't count on outside help. This is our fight." "Dr. Okonkwo, is the Nexus device ready?" James swallowed hard. "It is, but sir, we've never tested it at this scale. The risks are worth taking." Alexei finished. "The Zarkai leave us no choice. Transmit the activation codes to the Defiant." As the alien fleet approached Earth, humanity prepared for its final gambit. The Nexus device, a massive installation built in secret on the far side of the moon, powered up. It was the culmination of every scrap of knowledge gleaned from Zarkai technology, combined with humanity's unique innovative spirit. "Nexus device is hot," Zara reported. "Ready on your command, sir." Alexei took a deep breath. Around Earth, the last lines of defense prepared for battle. In cities and bunkers, in hastily constructed shelters, humans held their breath, united in this moment of existential crisis. "For Earth," Alexei said quietly. Then, louder, "Activate the Nexus device." A wave of energy unlike anything ever seen by human or alien eyes erupted from the moon. It engulfed the Defiant, the orbital defenses, and every human ship. For a moment, it seemed as if space itself was bending. Then, as quickly as it began, the energy disappeared. In its wake, the human fleet had changed. Ships crackled with new power, their hulls restructured at the quantum level into materials harder than diamond but lighter than air. What? What just happened? Zara asked, staring at her transformed console in awe. Alexei grinned, feeling the new power thrumming through the Defiant. We evolved. All hands, battle stations. Let's show the Zarkay what humanity can really do. As the transformed Earth fleet engaged the alien armada, the battle for the fate of humanity entered its final decisive phase. The Terran directive was more than a warning now. It was a promise of humanity's indomitable spirit, blazing bright against the darkness of space, covert operations, and alien infiltration. As the battle raged in space, a shadow war unfolded on Earth's surface. The Zarkay, realizing that their overwhelming force was being met with unexpected resistance, activated sleeper agents they had planted during the months of supposed cultural exchange. In the depths of UESA's primary research facility, Dr. Ilara Chen worked tirelessly to decrypt more Zarkay transmissions. Her eyes, red-rimmed from lack of sleep, suddenly widened as a new pattern emerged in the data. "This can't be right," she muttered, double-checking her findings. With trembling fingers, she activated the quantum entanglement communicator. "Commander Volkov, Dr. Okonkwo, we have a serious problem." Alexei's voice crackled through the speaker, punctuated by the sounds of ongoing battle. "Make it quick, Doctor. We're a little busy up here." Ilara took a deep breath. "The Zarkay, they're not just attacking from space. They have agents on Earth, and some of them are human." A heavy silence fell over the communication channel. It was James who broke it, his voice tight with disbelief. "Human collaborators. Are you certain?" "Positive," Ilara confirmed. "The transmissions indicate a group called Terra Nova. They believe that submission to the Zarkay is the only way to ensure humanity's survival. They've been sabotaging our defenses from within." On the bridge of the Defiant, Alexei's face hardened. "Zara, get me a secure line to General Santos at Global Defense Command. We need to root out these traitors before they can do any more damage." As Alexei coordinated with Earth's military leaders, a new front in the war opened up. In cities around the world, Zarkay infiltrators emerged from hiding, targeting key infrastructure and defense installations. They were met with fierce resistance from both military forces and civilian militias, but the damage was mounting. In London, a Zarkay saboteur disguised as a human technician nearly succeeded in disabling the European defense grid. It was only the quick thinking of a junior engineer, Aisha Khoury, that prevented catastrophe. Aisha, her dark hair matted with sweat and blood, stood over the unconscious alien, a makeshift weapon crafted from lab equipment in her hands. "I guess those xenobiology classes paid off after all," she quipped to her stunned colleagues. Similar scenes played out across the globe. In Rio de Janeiro, an off-duty soldier foiled an attempt to poison the city's water supply. In Beijing, a group of university students used their knowledge of urban planning to trap and neutralize a Zarkay strike team. But the alien infiltrators weren't the only threat. The human members of Terra Nova proved even more dangerous, their intimate knowledge of Earth's defenses allowing them to strike at critical weak points. Dr. James Okonkwo found himself racing against time to counter a virus uploaded to the Nexus device's control systems. His fingers flew across holographic keyboards, engaging in a digital duel with an unseen enemy. Come on," he muttered, sweat beading on his forehead. With a final, triumphant keystroke, he purged the virus. "Ha! Try to outcode me, will you?" But his victory was short-lived. An alarm blared through the facility, and security feeds showed armed intruders fighting their way towards the main laboratory. "James," Ilara's voice came through his earpiece. "Terra Nova forces are heading your way. You need to evacuate now." James glanced at the Nexus device's control module, a sleek box humming with barely contained power. "Negative. If they get their hands on this, it's all over. I'm initiating Protocol Omega." Ignoring Ilara's protests, James began the delicate process of transferring the Nexus device's core algorithms to a portable drive. As he worked, he could hear the sound of gunfire growing closer. Just as he finished the transfer, the laboratory doors burst open. James spun, raising his hands as he faced the intruders, a mix of Zarkai warriors and human collaborators. "Step away from the console, Doctor," the lead human, a severe-looking woman, ordered. James complied, slowly backing away. "You're too late," he said, allowing a small smile to cross his face. "The Nexus device is beyond your reach now." The woman's eyes narrowed. "Kill him," she spat. But before the order could be carried out, the air shimmered. Suddenly, the room was filled with heavily armed global defense operatives, their weapons trained on the surprised intruders. "I wouldn't do that if I were you," a familiar voice said. Zara Okoro stepped forward, her uniform scorched from recent combat, but her aim steady. "Drop your weapons. Now." As the Terra Nova forces were disarmed and detained, James let out a shaky breath. "Cutting it a bit close, weren't you, Lieutenant?" Zara grinned. "Admit it, Doc. You love a dramatic entrance." While the immediate threat to the Nexus device was neutralized, the battle against Earth's hidden enemies was far from over. Across the planet, security forces worked tirelessly to uncover and neutralize Terra Nova cells. In Washington, D.C., President Martinez addressed a tense meeting of global leaders. "The Zarkai thought they could divide us, turn us against each other," she said, her voice firm. "Instead, they've only unified us further. Every act of heroism, every thwarted attack, shows that humanity's strength lies in our diversity and our unwavering spirit." As she spoke, news feeds showed images from around the world. Civilians and soldiers working side by side to rebuild damaged infrastructure, scientists and engineers collaborating on new defensive technologies, people of all nations and backgrounds standing united against the alien threat. On the Defiant, Alexei received updates on the ground situation. Despite the setbacks caused by the infiltrators, Earth's defenses were holding. The Zarkai's attempt to undermine them from within had failed. "They underestimated us," Alexei mused, watching the battle unfold on the main view screen. "They thought we'd crumble, turn on each other. They don't understand what it means to be human." Zara, having returned to her post on the bridge, nodded in agreement. "So, what's our next move, Commander?" Alexei's eyes gleamed with determination. "Now that we've secured our home front, it's time to take the fight to them. Contact Dr. Okonkwo. Tell him to prepare the Nexus device for Phase 2. We're going on the offensive." As the orders went out, there was a palpable shift in the tide of battle. The Zarkai, their infiltration gambit having failed, found themselves facing a humanity more united and determined than ever. In labs and command centers around the world, the best minds of Earth worked feverishly, pushing the boundaries of science and strategy. The knowledge gained from thwarting the Terra Nova attacks was already being incorporated into new defense systems and battle plans. The war for Earth's survival was far from over, but for the first time since the conflict began, hope blossomed. Humanity had weathered the storm of betrayal and emerged stronger. Now, as they prepared to take the fight to the stars, the galaxy was about to learn just how formidable the human race could be. The Terran Directive, born from a warning, had become a promise, not just of defense, but of humanity's unbreakable will to forge its own destiny among the stars. The Galactic Gambit. The void of space erupted in a dazzling display of energy as the TSS Defiant led Earth's transformed fleet through a quantum tunnel. Emerging on the other side, Alexei Volkov found himself staring at an alien star system, the heart of Zarkai space. "Stealth systems holding," Zara reported, her voice tense with concentration. "They haven't detected us yet." Alexei nodded, his eyes fixed on the holographic display showing the Zarkai homeworld. "Begin Operation Starfall. Let's show them what happens when you threaten Earth." Across the fleet, ships began to move into position. The plan was audacious. A direct strike at the Zarkai's seat of power, using technology they had never imagined humans could possess. Back on Earth, in the newly christened Terran Defense Headquarters, President Martinez watched the operation unfold via quantum-entangled feeds. Dr. Ilara Chen stood beside her, providing real-time analysis of Zarkai communications. "They're in complete disarray," Ilara reported, a note of satisfaction in her voice. "They never expected us to be able to reach their home system." James Okonkwo burst into the room, his eyes wild with excitement. "Madam President, you need to see this." He activated a holographic display, showing a flurry of transmissions from across the galaxy. "Other alien races are reaching out. They're offering to ally with us against the Zarkai." Martinez's eyebrows shot up. "Allies? Are you certain they can be trusted?" James nodded emphatically. "The data checks out. It seems our stand against the Zarkai has impressed them. Many of these races have suffered under Zarkai dominance for centuries. They see us as a chance to break free." As the implications sank in, a new message flashed across the screens. Alexei's face appeared, his expression grim. "Madam President, we've received a transmission from the Zarkai leadership. They're requesting to negotiate." A hush fell over the command center. Martinez straightened, her jaw set with determination. "Put them through, Commander. Let's hear what they have to say." The main screen flickered, revealing the face of Corax, the Zarkai supreme leader. His iridescent skin seemed pale, his multifaceted eyes darting nervously. "Humans of Earth," Corax began, his translated voice echoing through the chamber. "You have proven yourselves formidable opponents. We offer you a place within our empire, as equals. Join us, and together we can rule the galaxy." Martinez's eyes narrowed. "You attack our world, attempt to subjugate our people, and now you offer partnership. Your actions have shown your true nature, Corax. Humanity will forge its own path among the stars." Corax's expression hardened. "Then you leave us no choice. Know this, humans, if we cannot have Earth, no one will. You have one planetary rotation to surrender, or we will unleash a weapon that will render your world uninhabitable for millennia." The transmission cut off abruptly, leaving a stunned silence in its wake. Alexei's voice broke through the tension. "Madam President, we've detected a massive energy buildup in the Zarkai system. Whatever this weapon is, they're preparing to use it." Martinez turned to her advisors, her expression resolute. "Options." James stepped forward, his mind racing. "The Nexus device. If we can boost its power and reconfigure the quantum matrix, we might be able to create a shield large enough to protect Earth. But that would leave our fleet defenseless," Zara interjected through the comm. "We'd be sacrificing everyone out here." A heavy silence fell over the room. The weight of the decision pressed down on Martinez's shoulders. Protect Earth and sacrifice the fleet, or risk everything on a counterattack. It was Ilara who spoke up, her voice quiet but firm. "There's another way. The Zarkai weapon. It's based on the same quantum principles as our Nexus device. If we can infiltrate their systems, we might be able to turn it against them." Alexei's eyes widened as he grasped the implications. "A Trojan horse. We let them think they're targeting Earth, but redirect the energy to their own planets. Can it be done?" Martinez asked, looking between James and Ilara. James nodded slowly. "Theoretically, yes. But we'd need someone on the inside, someone who could get close enough to their weapon systems to implement the change." All eyes turned to Alexei. The commander straightened, understanding the unspoken question. "I'll do it, but I'll need a distraction. Something big enough to draw their attention while I infiltrate their command center." Martinez nodded, her decision made. "Do it. Earth is counting on you, Commander. On all of you." What followed was the most daring operation in human history. As the Terran fleet engaged the Zarkai in a massive battle, Alexei led a small team on a stealth mission to the heart of the alien command center. Every step was a dance with death, relying on technology that had been theoretical mere weeks ago. In the Terran Defense Headquarters, James and Elara worked feverishly, guiding Alexei through the alien systems. Each moment brought them closer to either salvation or annihilation. "We're in position." Alexei's whispered voice came through the quantum comm, initiating the upload. Now, for a heart-stopping moment, nothing happened. Then, alarms began blaring throughout the Zarkai system. On view screens across Earth and the human fleet, they watched as the massive weapon turned, its deadly energy redirecting towards the Zarkai homeworld. Korax's panicked face appeared on the command center's main screen. "What have you done?" he screamed, his composure shattered. Martinez stepped forward, her voice steady. "We've given you a choice, Korax. Deactivate your weapon and surrender, or watch as your own aggression destroys everything you sought to protect. The galaxy is watching. Choose wisely." As the standoff stretched into minutes, the fate of two civilizations hung in the balance. The Terran directive, born from a warning, had become the catalyst for a new era in galactic politics. Whatever happened next, the universe would never be the same. Humanity's triumph. The galaxy held its breath as Korax, supreme leader of the Zarkai, faced the consequences of his species' aggression. The weapon that was meant to subjugate Earth now loomed over the Zarkai homeworld, a testament to human ingenuity and determination. "You leave us no choice," Korax said, his voice heavy with defeat. We surrender." A cheer erupted in the Terran Defense Headquarters. President Martinez allowed herself a small smile before turning to address her team. "This isn't just a victory for Earth. This is a moment that will reshape the galaxy. Let's make sure we get it right." As the Zarkai deactivated their weapon systems and recalled their fleets, the true scope of humanity's triumph became clear. Transmissions flooded in from across the galaxy. Messages of congratulations, offers of alliance, and pleas for protection against other aggressive species. Commander Alexei Volkov, standing amid the alien technology of the Zarkai Command Center, felt a profound sense of responsibility settle over him. "Madam President," he said, his voice carrying across light years through the quantum comm, "what are your orders?" Martinez straightened, her eyes scanning the faces of her advisors, Dr. Elara Chen, Dr. James Okonkwo, and Lieutenant Zora Okoro. Each had played a crucial role in Earth's survival and ultimate victory. Now they would help shape humanity's future among the stars. "Our first priority is to secure lasting peace," Martinez declared. "Commander Volkov, work with the Zarkai leadership to establish a framework for their disarmament. Dr. Chen, I want you to lead a team in studying their technology, not just for defense, but for the advancements it could bring to all aspects of human life." Elara nodded, her mind already racing with possibilities. "We could solve global warming, end food scarcity, maybe even crack the secret of faster-than-light travel," she mused. "Exactly," Martinez agreed. "Dr. Okonkwo, the Nexus device has proven its worth 100 times over. I want you to begin adapting it for peaceful applications. Let's turn the tool that saved us in war into an instrument that will propel us forward in peace." James grinned, rubbing his hands together in excitement. "Oh, the possibilities are endless. Quantum engineering, zero-point energy manipulation. We're standing on the brink of a new scientific renaissance." "And what about the other alien races?" Zara asked, her tactical mind already considering the broader implications. "The ones offering alliance, and the ones who might see us as a new threat." Martinez's expression grew serious. "That, Lieutenant, is where you come in. I'm promoting you to head of our new Galactic Affairs Division. Your job will be to navigate these new interstellar relationships to ensure Earth's security while fostering peaceful cooperation wherever possible." As the team dispersed to their new roles, the work of reshaping humanity's place in the cosmos began in earnest. The following months saw a flurry of activity unlike anything in human history. The Zarkai, under close supervision, began the process of dismantling their war machine. Many of their subject races, inspired by Earth's example, declared independence. The galaxy was transforming, and humanity found itself at the center of a new interstellar community. On Earth, the changes were equally profound. The technology derived from the Nexus device revolutionized every field of human endeavor. Clean energy became abundant, disease rates plummeted, and the first true AI emerged to help manage the complexities of a rapidly advancing civilization. But perhaps the most significant change was in humanity itself. The unity forged in the crucible of war didn't fade with victory. Instead, it grew stronger. Old national rivalries gave way to a sense of shared purpose and identity as citizens of Earth. 1 year after the surrender of the Zarkai, humanity took its next great leap. The TSS Horizon, Earth's first faster-than-light capable ship, prepared for its maiden voyage. Its mission: to explore the far reaches of the galaxy, to seek out new civilizations, and to represent the best of what humanity had become. As the ship's crew boarded, a crowd of thousands gathered to watch. Among them stood the heroes of the Zarkai War: Alexei, Ilara, James, and Zara, each now leaders in Earth's new interstellar government. President Martinez approached the podium to address the assembled crowd and the billions watching around the world and across the galaxy. "My fellow citizens of Earth, honored allies from distant stars," she began, her voice carrying the weight of history. "Today, we embark on a new chapter in the human story. The Terran Directive, born as a warning to those who would threaten us, has become a beacon of hope for oppressed beings across the galaxy." She paused, looking out at the sea of faces before her. "But with this new power comes great responsibility. We have seen the consequences of unchecked aggression, of the arrogance that comes with technological superiority. Let us vow to never walk that path." Instead, Martinez continued, her voice swelling with passion, "Let us carry forward the spirit that saw us through our darkest hour. The courage to stand against tyranny, the ingenuity to overcome impossible odds, the compassion to extend a hand of friendship, even to former enemies. This is the true strength of humanity." As the TSS Horizon rose majestically into the sky, its quantum drives humming with power, humanity looked to the stars not with fear, but with hope and determination. The galaxy was vast and full of wonders, and Earth was ready to take its place as a force for peace, progress, and unity. The Terran Directive had evolved from a desperate stand against extinction to a guiding principle for a new age of exploration and cooperation. Humanity had been tested, and in rising to the challenge, had discovered the best within itself. As the horizon disappeared in a flash of quantum energy, bound for the unknown, a new chapter in cosmic history began. And at its heart was the indomitable spirit of humanity, no longer alone in the universe, but ready to face whatever challenges the stars might hold. The end of the Zarkai War was not just a victory for Earth, but the dawn of a new era for the entire galaxy, an era shaped by the courage, ingenuity, and unwavering spirit of humanity.